What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. You know, it was revealed that confirmed sources has stated that he was knocked out in sparring, but we don't know by whom. We do now. A fighter by the name of Joey DeWeco, his name. He is a fighter that was sparring with Anthony Joshua. He's all over Instagram with Anthony Joshua, posting in videos. He was the one that allegedly knocked him out, okay, and dropped him and hurt him brutally in sparring. Now, mind you, this guy is the same build as Andy Ruiz, okay? Matter of fact, he looks like a white version of Andy Ruiz. They call him the Tank. Of course, Andy Ruiz is called a Destroyer, and they've sparred before. So that was allegedly the guy that knocked out Anthony Joshua and gave him the concussion. Now, other news with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is completely denying the whole thing. He said that he wasn't badly hurt in sparring. Sparring went well. And in fact, the sources have told us, and I've checked in the UK because I have sources over there also, and these are UK sources, okay, that this training camp did not go smoothly like Eddie Hearn's claiming it. So it's kind of really hard to believe him at the point. Now, if you wanted to give Eddie Hearn the benefit of the doubt, okay, you could say, well, he's a promoter. He's not in the gym a lot of times. He's not the guy that hangs out in the gym that really observes Joshua, okay? He's busy doing offers, making offers, doing contracts for other fighters. He's a promoter of Matchroom Promotion. So he's not in the gym to observe Joshua, to really know what's happening to a certain degree. However, the trainer is, and that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about. If you're going to send Joshua out there and he hasn't a concussion, he was hurt badly in sparring, if you're his trainer, why would you advise him to move on or to go ahead with the fight? And even if that was the case, you should have been, or that particular person should have been more aware of the condition of his fighter. You know, Joshua's a guy that is, we know, humble. We know now proud, and he lets a lot of things fall down by the wayside. However, that's him, okay? A lot of fighters get killed that way. A lot of fighters take unnecessary punishment because they refuse to stop in a fight, okay? So it's up to someone else to step in to make that discerning call. Hey, you can't fight anymore. And that should have been the case with Anthony Joshua. So where I'm going with that is, if he knew that Joshua was involved in a knockout or a concussion and he was concussed before the fight, there is no way any certified trainer should have allowed that fight to remain. That's why his dad was pissed off. That's why the ring walk, if you guys look back, the ring walk was crazy. The ring walk was delayed. Anthony Joshua looked like he wasn't into it. Like he was out of it. Like seriously, he didn't look the same old guy. It looks like he wasn't 100%. And why would you want to fight someone that's not 100%? Now, this opens a lot of questions, and I go back to a previous video that I've already made by Lennox Lewis. Look, if a fighter's not ready, it's up to the trainer to protect your fighter, as well as the referee. The referee did his job, but the trainer fucking didn't, okay? He didn't do his job. He allowed Anthony to be, well, not be hurt, but he allowed the fight to go on and made a bad call. And then that's coming still due to the fact that they were underestimating Andy Ruiz and what his ability was, okay? So they're thinking, yeah, I'm hurt, I'm this and that, let's cover up the scars, because we've seen those scars, we've seen those already, we've talked about that, right? So you can't say that it was one thing and it was something else, right? But of course, that's Anthony Joshua covering things up, blowing it off. Oh, it's no big deal. Pressure. And then look, it's sometimes you have to have a person within to tell you what's going on in your team. Okay? So Robert Joshua was that guy that cracked this wide open, people. He was the guy that opened this, that was pissed off and coming at Eddie Hearn like he wanted to attack him because he already knew the inside. He knew my son is not 100% going into this fight, so why would the hell would you bring him out there? You know, and a lot of people blame Eddie Hearn. You know, he's partial to blame, but another partial to blame, I would blame, number one, would be the trainer, okay? And also, Anthony Joshua has himself to blame. You know, you can't just keep on doing something for the sake of saving face, or no, I can't, you know, I know I'm not 100%. Why would I do that to myself? You know what I mean? And screw the legacy. Why would you do that for your health? That's bringing you in great danger of getting severely hurt. We just had Adonis Stevenson to get put in a coma. That could have happened to Anthony Joshua, people. So if you're true fans of Anthony Joshua, you should advise Anthony Joshua that his trainer doesn't have his best intention, because these signs are on the wall. You're beat up badly in sparring. You're covering it up. Eddie Hearn's denying it. And even if Eddie Hearn didn't know, he should have had better communication with the trainer. Okay? With Joey, the Tank Destroyer, confirming it pretty much. You know, you can't deny certain things. You know? So those things happen. It ain't like Anthony Joshua's not been knocked out before. He's been knocked out before. Has been confirmed. He's been knocked out before. A lot of people don't believe that. Anybody can get knocked out in the sport, especially in the heavyweight division. We're bigger men. We punch harder, and there's more velocity behind the punch. Okay? So regardless of how big you are, you're still getting hit with a big shot. That's why, you're getting hit with a big man. That could happen to you versus a smaller guy. Not saying smaller guys can't punch. I'm not saying that at all. There's a lot of heavy bangers that are south of the heavyweight division. But I am saying when you get hit by a heavyweight, you can be knocked out. And then Joshua was knocked out like that, and he suffered a concussion 8 days before the fight. He shouldn't have been in there. They should have called it off. It had already been enough signs of warnings anyway for this fight not to happen. Opponents canceling, opponents turning it off, scrapping the Wembley date at April 13th. Look, sometimes warnings is all we have before disaster. Okay? Before destruction. See, Anthony Joshua is a good dude, but he might be too good for his own good. So it does, again, take someone that's outside of the boxing realm, that's not caught up in the politics, that's not caught up in the bullshit, that's not caught up in the numbers and the competition of other fighters. And I guarantee you that is all this played a part in Anthony Joshua getting knocked out the way he was. Simply think about it. If Anthony Joshua came in at 50% and the moment he hurt Andy Ruiz, dropped him, right? Got Andy Ruiz's attention. Why do you think he jumped on him? Now it makes sense. You jumped on him, you got overzealous because you knew you wasn't at 100%, so you wanted to end the night early. He probably also had in his mind, on top of I'm already concussed, let me get this guy out of here, so let me throw these berate of punches, leave myself open to get countered. Either way, he underestimated Ruiz, but it was at a point where he knew, I'm not well. I don't feel well. He was telling the corner in between rounds people that his trainer, I don't feel well. Why do I feel like this? These are the words of Anthony Joshua, people. Okay? This isn't something that's speculated. This is something he wasn't feeling well before getting stopped. Okay? Now, of course, when he got in the ring, like he said, hey, if I didn't want to, get beat, or I didn't want the ref to stop the fight, I shouldn't have went to the canvas. Okay. That's an honorable thing to do. No excuses. I appreciate people not being like Manny Pacquiao or other fighters or Amir Khan and making up bullshit out of the blue because you lost. I admire that. And this hasn't come from Anthony Joshua's team. This comes from someone closer to Anthony Joshua, his family. The sparring partners included, the tall tale signs, the black eyes, the scrapes and shit that he's denying. Okay, this comes from that source, not Anthony Joshua. So it's not somebody saying, oh, this is the excuse why he got knocked out. He got knocked out because he was already knocked out, and he just added insult to injury, people. That's all it really was. Okay, and again, I'm glad it took someone closer to him that knew what was up. Okay, so, but saying all that to say this, Anthony Joshua's trainer, he should be replaced. He should be axed, like Lennox Lewis said, because if he knew these type of things, he doesn't care for the welfare of his fighter, and he should have communicated with Eddie. And if Eddie knew, he should leave Eddie's ass too, because these type of things which kill boxers that people are unaware of. All we seen was a short, plump Mexican guy, brown guy, beat the shit out of a taller, big guy, right? And his shots were hurting him, and he was falling over, right, like a drunkard coming out of a saloon, falling to the ground like he was, the way he was acting. Okay, these are all the signs that have a person with a concussion, a person that's not 100%. Don't take anything away from Andy Ruiz, but if this gets back to Andy Ruiz, if I'm Andy Ruiz, I would want to have a rematch when I know that he's 100%. But again, no one's confirming that on Team Joshua's side. In the inner circle, everyone's trying to cover it up, and maybe Eddie Hearn's trying to cover it up to save his own ass, to save his own integrity. Because if he knew and didn't do anything about it, people are like, what the fuck? Why did you bring him out there? And someone like Anthony Joshua, he knows the pressure on him. He knows that, hey, I got to deliver, right? And on top of that first knockdown, he dropped Andy Ruiz. He probably did that because he knew, well, my rival champion, right? The rival champion of me took out Brazil in 1 round. Let me take him out in 3. Let me make an early night. But I think it was because he was hurt and he was hurt and was secretly covering it up. Okay. It reminds me, because I'm a movie buff. Okay. It reminds me of Lionheart. I'm a big Van Damme fan. I grew up watching his movies and shit, martial arts. But he played a movie called Lionheart where he was a prisoner that escaped and came to America, and he was fighting underground, street fights to raise money for his sister-in-law and his niece, right? So throughout the fight, he got beat up and, he took damage to his rib. He kept taking damage to his rib. And the guy, his sidekick, actually, it's funny, his name was Joshua, found out before he fought the last guy that he was fucking injured because he was hiding and keeping it a secret. Because of that pride, he didn't want no one to know. And he was like, hey, I can beat this guy. The dude was like, how you gonna beat him if y'all fucked up? You can't beat him if y'all fucked up. You know what I mean? So those type of things happen in the sport, in contact sports, mind you. And look, people get injured, okay? But you have to have enough discernment and enough care for yourself, or you have to have those people around you to see he's not well, he can't compete. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm going with this. Of course, I'll leave the links below. Let you guys check out these links, because you guys got to check this out. I will thumbnail the guy that's responsible for the concussion. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunched. Peace.